All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. And salutations to the Yakim out there laboring of the hopeful elect that's doing this work in truth and sincerity. And who I have here is a podcaster that goes by the name of Jesse Lee Peterson. And he's pretty much a troll for you so-called Negroes out there, and really of all you tribes. But mainly his sweet spot is pretty much focusing on the tribe of Judah. Now his base audience is pretty much made up of Edomites, and he pretty much speaks pretty much through them and caters to them, so to speak. But he's basically the ultimate Jake troll. His issue is pretty much, Jake is lazy and doesn't want to do anything, and pretty much wants to look for a handout and always complaining. So he feeds the minds of his audience because this is how they think of you Jakes. You see. Now I got this video short here of him, and he's gonna go down the line to explain. Okay, and he may even be a chocolate Edomite at the end of the day, but nevertheless, it's pretty much this video short here is titled "What Do White People Want?" and he's going to go by what do they want as far as in this society, pretty much, and we already know how the society's going. You see, so these people are pretty much deceived of their ultimate utopia, okay? Because that ultimate utopia of what life should be has pretty much been gone past, and they're not reaping the benefits of the elites, that pretty much took the lion's share of the wealth, and they're pretty much living like uh, you know, uh, regular citizens, so to speak, people are pretty much going through certain economic, disorganization, you know, by pretty much living from paycheck to paycheck. They're pretty much wearing down their resources. And, this next election coming up is going to be pretty much a wake up call for them because, the powers that be, we see what they're doing and how they're trying to construct things to pretty much systematically bring the society down. And if Trump actually got in office, he would pretty much plan on undoing everything that they have done. The groundwork that they have laid, they have pretty much picked up a lot of ground since 2020, so to speak. A lot of draconian laws have been pretty much passed, and the way that society, which is contrary to what this man claims to be a Judeo-Christian society, and pretty much this place is going on a slippery slope. But to pretty much expound more on what I'm speaking about, I'm going to play this video and then we're going to speak about it on the other side. So without any further ado. And that's what's wrong in America, Judeo-Christian country, founded by white people, white men. And with the help of God, they created the greatest country on this side of heaven, all in the name of Jesus. White people, all they want is just a first-class life. They just want a first-class life. They want you to leave them alone, let them get their education. They work hard on their job. They start businesses. They want a nice, clean, beautiful home in a nice, clean neighborhood. They want low crime. They want small government. They want their white children to just be able to go to school. They want their kids to graduate and the girls to get married to a man that got money while the little children run around and talk about how cute they are. They don't want to be robbed at the coffee shop. They just want a first-class life. That's all they want. They don't want you coming into the suburbs and screwing up their lives. They don't want you coming in and building project hoods around it. They don't want you hanging out on the beach smoking pot. They don't want you coming over robbing them. They don't feel like fighting with you. They don't feel like walking down the road and here you are coming up knocking them out. They just want to have a life. They want to enjoy it. But no! In America, Judeo. And that's pretty much this sums it up. You see? But guess what, Esau? That type of life is pretty much come to a screeching halt. You see, because your own people are pretty much helping to bring the society down. Okay, and through your unrighteous decrees, okay, you can't make believe that there's no unrighteous decrees in this place. Okay, you're creating a sleeping giant, so to speak. Okay, you see, that's pretty much what's going on, and through their so-called Christianity, which founded this place. Okay, really, this is pretty much a prison camp for the Israelites. Okay, and as you see on his shirt, it says the fallen state, and pretty much this is what they are living in, you know. And now you're gonna have it to where the chickens are pretty much coming home to roost at the end of the day. You see, but let's start off with the scripture real quick. All right, let's go to let's address that whole Judeo Christianity nonsense. That this place claims that they founded the founding fathers established this place. You see, because we know that they enslaved the Israelites. Okay, all right, when they came over here on the side, and pretty much uh, established what you want to call Christianity, and came with the image to go right along with it. You see, all right, and it's pretty much these people are in the delusion state of thinking that the Lord got on the cross and pretty much died for them. You see, but we're gonna read Psalms chapter 50 verse 16. But unto the wicked, the Most High saith, What hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? You see, and pretty much what is this place doing to pretty much put the covenant in their mouth? Okay, because they weren't given the covenant. You see, okay, pretty much the people that were given the covenant. All right, when you really want to go back to Abraham, but even when it was pretty much established before the whole congregation, okay, the children of Israel through Moses, okay, all right, which was basically given the law, all right, what you pretty much he told them, okay, that curses would come upon these particular people, his people, okay, if they disobeyed his commandments. You see, and the Lord's judgment was always captivity. You see, so now you have somebody else that's coming in and trying to put that covenant in their mouth and pretty much enslave pretty much the apple of the Lord's eye, man, his chosen people. You see, but it says here, right, 17, seeing thou hatest instruction and cast out my word behind thee. You see, and pretty much you pretty much he has hate instruction, man. Okay, he hated instruction from the beginning. Okay, he couldn't even, when you go back to Cain, okay, he couldn't even offer up the right sacrifice. You see, okay, and what did the Lord say? All right, would you not be accepted if thou doest good? But if you don't do good, sin lies at the door. You see, okay. But now people want to pretty much want to slaughter the whole earth, and now they think they're going to have some type of peace, man. And we already know that the Lord deals with balance at the end of the day. You see, all right. But it says that seeing thou hatest instruction and cast my word behind thee, and how do you establish this place? Pretty much everything that you are passing through as law, okay, especially within the last 5 years, okay, this man is pretty much waxing worse and worse. And we're not speaking about no different political party lines, man. You people are all the same. You see, okay, you people are pretty much going to be at odds with each other. But now you're looking for peace. You're looking for that, the white picket fence, so to speak. All right. And just like he said, he doesn't want, white man wants to pretty much, he wants to go about his business now. Okay, now that he has pretty much conquered the earth, so to speak. You see, right? But it says, when thou sawest a thief, thou contendest with him, and has been the partaker with adulterers. You see, and pretty much, man, this land was pretty much stolen. Okay, the resources of the earth stolen. You see, all right. And you people pretty much can the average Edomite can pretty much wipe his hands of everything and say he doesn't have anything to do with it. But guess what? Okay, whatever the great Edomite secret is how they've amassed resources. Okay, through the backs of the saints, man. Okay, through slavery. You see, all right. So you already have a whole head start on pretty much establishing a life for yourself. Okay, you see. But it says, and pretty much you contend this with people that are like minded like yourself. You see, so it doesn't matter if you're on the top of the food chain or on the bottom of the totem pole concerning E, you know, concerning your own people. If the roles were reversal, they will be doing the exact same thing that the elites will be doing now. You see, okay, because that's how they're wired. All right, it says, "Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit." And pretty much this is how you pretty much have taken over the world. Okay, all right, right along with the blessing of which is the sword. Okay, you see, but your mouth is always constantly given to evil, man. Okay, all right, pretty much now this man wants to try to the average Edomite now wants to probably pretty much wants to live in peace and comfort, but guess what? The powers that be that rule over you, okay, have other plans. They're bringing on the chaos. Okay, they're bringing on evils. Okay, they're bringing on unrighteous decrees to where you pretty much you regular Edomites are pretty much going to be in a between a rock and a hard place, so to speak. You see? Okay, it says, "Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, thy slanderest thy own mother's son." And it's pretty much now how Jake is now, where Jake is pretty much being slandered. Okay, all right, through what? Through the descendants, of his brethren, man, Esau. Okay, Jake is pretty much now the poster child of the nuisance in the earth, so to speak. They everything that's going wrong with society has to start with Jake now. Speaking about you tribes, they did uptick in crime and everything that they're speaking about. But guess what? What's making it worse is the unrighteous decrees, okay, that their own people are pretty much are putting in place that are causing situations to where it's going to be a lot of uncomfortability comfortability for the people that's pretty much now they want to be at rest with it. You see? But it says, "These things hast thou done, and I kept silent. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether as such as one as thyself." Because what? Because they praising the Lord, for them being in the situation that they're in. They pretty much truly think that they're blessed. You see, but what did the Lord say? Okay, pursuant to Romans the 9th chapter. Okay, the Lord had just like He raised Pharaoh up. Okay, this pretty much now is that king of Babylon. The Lord is raising up the king of Babylon, raising him up, just so that when He brings him down, He's showing His power. Okay, all right. The Lord's going to exercise His power, and you're going to see this great power pretty much be brought to naught. And this is what we're on the verge of. Okay, you see, this man doesn't see it coming. Okay, but it says, "These things that's how done, and I kept silent, and thoughtest that I was altogether as such as one as thyself." But it says, "But I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes." Okay, because they right now they look at Jake's life as madness. You see, okay, and they can't grasp on his life as being just a downtrodden people and of no value, so to speak. But the Lord said that, what? Meanwhile, you're thinking that way, okay? I will reprove you, and then I'm gonna set my people in order before your eyes, okay? It's essentially what the Lord is saying, and the Lord is pretty much setting his people in order, okay, through His men that are pretty much uh, standing up for the evildoers, man, okay, in the Lord's name, okay, and it's pretty much bringing forth this word. That's pretty much what's getting in order, okay, because you want to speak about Jake, pulling himself up by the bootstraps. The only way that Jake is going to be able to pull themselves up by their bootstraps is coming back to that power. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing that you're going to be able to attribute to the society to help the oppressor to advance is going to help you to get up out of the situation that you're in. You see? All right. So pretty much now, this man wants to pretty much now wants to uh, uh, get comfortable now in the society now. Now after all of the rape, robbery, and murder that he has done, okay, and pretty much and these people that is pretty much on these comment boards, and the comment board is hilarious because they pretty much bigging this guy up and saying I couldn't have said it better, you know, and then they're pretty much going on and talking shit and adding their little 2 cents in, you know, he's pretty much done, man. He's done because he thinks that he's in a good case right now, and it's far from the contrary, you know. Okay, um, real quick, let's go to Zechariah chapter 1. Uh, bear with me. Zechariah chapter 11, verse 5. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, Blessed be Yahweh, for I am rich. And their own shepherds pity them not. You see? Okay? And pretty much, man, they slay Jake all the day long and hold themselves not guilty. Okay? And things have always been done, as Jake has been the victim of and they always talk about Jake or being a victim. Well, Jake has been a victim, but we know it's not through the complaining thing is pretty much Jake just pretty much emotional, wearing their heart on his sleeve, and don't know how to pretty much get out of that situation. Okay? And that's through Jake pretty much relying on this damn devil for every goddamn thing. Okay? You see? Crying to him when you need to be crying to the Lord, first and foremost. You see? Okay? So you have the situation where Jake is in where a witch hunt has been set up to keep Jake on the bottom. Okay? You see, when this man set up his kingdom in society, you have to have some people that's on the bottom. Okay? So whatever he did to where you keeping Jake in a box and pretty much keep him on the bottom, okay? So that what? So that you can lie down so they can pass over, pretty much. What they're pretty much telling you Jakes to pretty much bow down, so to speak. Okay? You see? All right? And then the shepherds pretty much, okay, that are set up as the gatekeepers of you Jakes, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, okay? They don't have any pity for you because pretty much why? It's because they took that bag. Okay? They're there to help you be oppressed, stay oppressed, and keep you in a state of being docile, so to speak. You see? Okay? So from there, let's go to Zechariah. Stay in Zechariah real quick. Stay in there. I'm gonna snag something. Uh, let's see. Zechariah chapter 1. Let's see. Let's see. All right, let's start at 14. This is Zechariah chapter 1, verse 14. All right? This is pretty much Zechariah speaking, right? It says, So the angel that communed with me said unto me, cried out, saying, Thus say Yahweh of hosts, I am jealous for Jerusalem and for Zion with a great jealousy. And pretty much the Lord is pretty much going to turn his face, and he's already starting to turn his face back to us, man, and to pretty much turn the tides of the standard that has been set in the earth, and pretty much, you know, fight for his people at the end of the day, you know? And it says, And I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease, for I was but a little displeased, and they helped to forward the affliction. You see? And you Jakes pretty much when it was a time where, uh, uh, um, uh, our iniquity pretty much would have an end as far as slavery was concerned. Here you come again with Jim Crow and the things that came along with it. You know, you got to remember that the lynchings and hangings and everything else and the persecutions happened after slavery. You see, and Jake couldn't be just free and just work his way into society without being left alone. You see, so now this devil wants to be left alone. All right, but what he's still pretty much slandering the men that he is pretty much have kept beneath his feet. You see, right? But it says that they help afford their affliction, right? It says, therefore, thus said Yahweh, I am returned to Jerusalem with mercies, and my house be built in it. And saith Yahweh of hosts, and a line shall be stretched forth upon Jerusalem. You see? And pretty much the Lord is pretty much the mercies is coming. Okay? The tender mercies of Yahweh Bashim Shai is pretty much coming to his people. And it's going to start with the elect. Okay? The Lord's not going to suffer us to be here in Egypt. You see? All right? You see? All right, from there, let's go to, real quick, let's go to Lamentations. Okay? Because, these people were pretty much yucking it up, Esau, and he's still thinking that he's in a good case, man. When we see the walls closing in, pretty much deep down inside, man, he knows that this place is pretty much not the same that it used to be. But he needs to point a finger to somebody, which is you Jakes out there, man. Okay? And this is where Jacob's trouble is going to come. Okay? Let's see. Let's go to Lamentations to get to the point. Lamentations chapter 4, verse 21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken, and thou shalt make thyself naked. And pretty much how, Jake is pretty much an astonishment to the world on how they are, that way they act and their behavior. And pretty much Jesse Lee Peterson, he exploits and plays on that. And he pretty much trolls Jake on their behavior. You see? Okay? And, the Edomites are pretty much eating it up, man. That's his fan base. You see? All right? He's pretty much getting in the minds of them and playing on the minds to where it doesn't sound so controversial when it's coming from somebody that's speaking against his own people. You see? So they feel like he's speaking for them, and this world of being politically correct, so to speak, they feel like he's their mouthpiece of what their thoughts are. You see? Okay? But the scripture says that rejoice and be glad because the cup is going to pass unto you. And what's that cup? The cup of yourself being drunken and naked, man. Okay? You see, and that's what Jake is, man. Jake is pretty much drunken and naked, man, in sight of the nations. You see? Jake's dirty laundry is pretty much being exploited through the mass media, okay, on historical, on unprecedented levels, man. You see? Okay? And pretty much if people want to get a little slice of black culture, so-called Negro culture, all you got to do is turn on the TV. Okay? Because pretty much, the devil, okay, the slanderer, pretty much exploits it 24/7. Okay? When you look at these various different divorce shows and court shows and paternity test shows, okay? Who's up there? Who's the face of it? Jake. You see? Jake has been made the face of pretty much daytime television, man. Okay? Daytime folly, so to speak. You see? Okay? So that's pretty much, and these shows run consecutively nonstop, and they pretty much are syndicated programs at this point. Okay? You can pretty much have shows that was years ago that pretty much now, okay, they're running syndication throughout the world. Okay? And this is what they think of you Jakes when they look at these shows, man. Uncouth, unorganized, in disarray, all right, being in derision, But what the Lord said that the cup that we have pretty much have drunken is going to be passed unto you. So you better, rejoice and be glad because, okay, that cup is going to be passed unto you. You see? Okay? And pretty much that's what's coming. It says, the punishment of thy iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. Okay, so the Lord's pretty much saying that our iniquity, the punishment of our iniquity, okay, of everything that we have gone through, okay, that was pretty much foretold, okay, through our forefathers. If we disobeyed our power, okay, we were going to be in this condition, okay. But that's being accomplished now, okay. All right, we'd have served our punishment from the Lord, okay. So it says, the punishment of thy iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. I will no more carry thee away into captivity. I will visit thy iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. And your sins are pretty much rearing their ugly head, man. Okay? All right? And your sins have been pretty much, or have been accelerating, okay, within the last 4 or 5 years. Okay? With this whole woke movement. Okay? That's even angering the Lord even more so now. You see? Okay? Right? Okay? So, all right, that pretty much that cup is coming right for you. You see? Real quick, let's go to Isaiah 33, verse 1. Okay, the judgment of the Most High. Woe to thee that spoilest, and thou was not spoiled. You see? Okay? And for you to pretty much obtain your comfortability in the earth, you spoiled many people and many nations. Okay? All right? Chiefly the Lord's people. So it says, woe to thee that spoilest, and thou was not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealeth treacherously, not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, okay, and pretty much now you want to be in this time where you want to cease to spoil. You want to get comfortable now. You want to just be able to be left alone. You're seeing how Jake is pretty much playing, the knockout games coming back. Jake is being a nuisance and pretty much spoiling your livelihood, so to speak, your comfortability, your peace, so to speak. Just like he said, Jesse said, they don't want you coming into their neighborhoods and turning it into a hood, because pretty much, the saying is when Jake moves into a exclusively white neighborhood, the saying is there goes a neighborhood. And the reason why they say there goes a neighborhood, because systematically, the value will start to go down for the houses. So now they know that once one black person is in there, they know that there's going to be several more right behind them of us as far as families moving to the neighborhood. So now there will be a race to sell a house while you can get top dollar for it. Because the longer that person would stay in that neighborhood, when you got Jakes moving in, the much more or less the house will be worth. Okay? And that's the way they had set this up. You see? But it says, right? When thou cease to spoil, okay, thou shalt be spoiled. And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. You see? And that's pretty much what you're finding out right now, live and direct. Okay? All right? Pretty much, Eden got to walk around and with his head on a swivel as well now. He's not really walking comfortable. You see? Okay? Especially when you talk about these gentrified neighborhoods where it hasn't all the way been gentrified, because they try to gentrify the neighborhood and Jake is still in the hood, But now, you're gonna get part of that oppressive wrath, okay? That Jake is pretty much has been displaying on his own people. You people are pretty much getting caught in the middle of that now, okay? It's gonna come a point in time where Jake is gonna stop beating each other up over the head, because it's not no profit. But they understand it's a profit, though, if they start beating their adversary over the head, okay? Because they feel like they can get something out of that. You see? Okay? And you're seeing hearing stories about these migrants going up into certain suburbs, man, and robbing these homes, man. Okay, all right. They're not robbing homes in the hood. They're going to exclusive neighborhoods, man. You're finding about these stories out in California, where they're suppressing these stories, where they're pretty much going up and pretty much in uh, North Hollywood and Beverly Hills and pretty much spoiling those houses up there, man. You see? Okay? But you're gonna see a point in time now, and what? And this is going on because of what? Because of what their own people are doing, their own decrees that they're pushing forth to pretty much open the borders, man. You see? So now you're opening the borders, and pretty much now, what's happening? Nothing but chaos in the street. Nobody's safe. Nobody's comfortable. Okay? So when you cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. Okay? You're not gonna sit here and after did all of this death and destruction to a people and think that you're gonna, kick your feet up, and pretty much enjoy that life, man. Nah, this is a time to where you Edomites are pretty much are gonna have to fight for their freedom, okay? And not just pretty much you're gonna be fighting each other. They're gonna be fighting each other for their own freedom, okay? Because it's your own people that's pretty much are putting you into captivity, so to speak. You see? Okay? Because you're not even getting a lion's share of the wealth that's in the earth, man. Okay? Your own people don't even care about you. That's what the fact of the matter is. You see? All right? From there, let's go to 2nd Esdras, chapter 15, verse 10. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them to dwell in the land of Egypt. And the Lord's telling you us to pretty much depart from this place. Not depart from it physically, but depart from it spiritually and mentally. Not to partake in this man's sins, man. Okay? Not thinking that you're on a winning team. Okay? All right? And Jake is just, living through the flesh, and they pretty much think that this man's making these decrees and having the last say. They feel like that might be the right way to go. But when you do that, you're being led as a flock to the slaughter. You see? And you're going to pretty much succumb to what he has to offer you. Okay? But the ultimate judgment was going to actually come from the Lord, because his end game is giving you a MOTB. Okay? And a lot of these migrants pretty much coming over here, they're going to be pretty much stuck between a rock and a hard place, because they're dependent so much on the government, man. And that's one thing that Jesse Lee Peterson said, that what so-called white people want. They want smaller government. Well, guess what? Smaller government is the days are old. Okay? Government's pretty much overstepping their boundaries and staying their gangster right now. They already came out from behind the curtain and stated their gangster on how things should go. And what, at the end of the day, all you people can do is just complain. You can't do nothing about it. You can't stop the powers that be from doing what they're doing. Okay? You see? That's what the problem with them lies in. Okay? So you pretty much thinking that you're gonna kick your feet up, okay, in a chair and enjoy life. This place is done. It's over with. Okay? You see? But the Lord said that he will not suffer his people to dwell in Egypt anymore. He said, what? But he said, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before. You see? Now we're talking about now, this is in the time of Esdras. So this is long after, okay, all right, the great deliverance from Egypt. Okay? This is speaking about another Egypt. Okay? This is speaking about America. Okay? And pretty much and where we are captive at. You see? Okay? This is that bondage, that house of bondage at the end of the day. But the Lord said that he will deliver them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. You see? Okay? And the plagues that plagued Egypt from before, those plagues are coming back again. Okay? All right? A lot of those plagues that were in that land are coming to this land. So, pretty much, there's no room for E wants. Okay, when you talk about the average Edomite wants, okay, when he's pretty much you know it's gonna be a survival of the fittest for them. You see, because pretty much, man, they're pretty much a paycheck or so away from poverty, the damn selves. But you're still worried about Jake and the quality of life. Your own people have made this a situation for yourselves. You see, okay? Because what are you gonna do? You're gonna cry about the crime and keep on crying about the crime. And guess what? Here comes the order through chaos, man. Okay, so the people are really falling right into the trap of what they want. You see? It says, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. Okay? You see? So this guy is thinking about his so-called Jesus and all that, and the Lord has blessed them. And no, the Lord said that the plagues and punishment is coming upon this place. Okay? You see? All right, and Jesse, he pretty much didn't get the memo of what is so-called who you want to ignorantly call Jesus looks like. Okay, you see, all right. Pretty much the cat has been let out the bag for the whole rest of the world that didn't know what the hell is going on, and obviously he didn't get the memo, But that's for another topic, though. End of the day, you see, all right. So this man is pretty much in a cluster a quagmire, so to speak. You see? All right. From there, let's go to Jeremiah real quick. All right. Jeremiah, because the days of old are gone. Okay. You know more the hunk of the earth, so to speak. Okay. The people have become weak in this place. This is Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 16. Thy terribleness hath deceived thee in the pride of thy heart, O that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, and holdest the height of the hill. Right? You got the fatness of the earth. Okay? And pretty much the fatness of the earth is pretty much, and when you want to be away from the pretty much the elites, they like to live up in mountains and have, away from everybody, so to speak, and that's something the average Edomite can't do. Okay? All right? Only the elites can be able to get away from Jake. Edomites are pretty much now two-time losers at the end of the day. Okay? You see? Because it costs money to pretty much get away from Jake. Okay? Point blank, period. And the ones that have the money can be able to live in areas where they don't have to see Jake and deal with Jake. Meanwhile, people that don't have the resources like the elites do, you still have to rub elbows with Jake. Okay? You may have to deal with them even if you may live in a modest neighborhood where you might not see a little but no Jake. But guess what? When you have to go out to these places of businesses and go to work, guess what? You pretty much rub right elbows right with them. You see? So if you people want to sit here and complain, you got to, pull yourselves up by your bootstraps and pretty much get your resources up and put yourself in a position to where you don't have to see no Jake and deal with Jake. Okay? Only the so-called rich of this world are able to get themselves in that position. Okay? And it left the rest of you people, you didn't get the lion's share of the wealth. So you pretty much have to deal with the everyday woes of running into Jake. You don't have to worry about now it's coming more dangerous for you now. You see? It's coming more dangerous now than even what you would proclaim to be the safest neighborhoods. You see? Okay? But it says that you holdest the height of the hill, and thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle. I will bring thee down from thence, saith Yahweh. Right? And pretty much, man, ever since this man has pretty much been tinkering out there with the, building this international space station and what have you, this place has been on a decline since then. This place has been on a decline since the 60s. Okay? But now you're starting to see it rapidly deteriorate right before your eyes. You see? Right? It says, also Edom shall be a desolation. Hey, that's a people. Everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. You see? And they always keep this pretty much line this up with Babylon. Babylon in Edom is pretty much synonymous. You see, okay, and just like the Lord spoke about as through Esdras, right? It should be astonished to being hissed with the plagues there, the plagues that are coming here, okay. And what are those ultimate plagues that are coming here? Okay, right? The Smiths that you were pretty much running around, the mighty, the pretty much the men of Teman, okay. The Germans were pretty much had brought through with those those missiles, those ICBMs, okay. You see, it says, as in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah, in the neighbor cities thereof, saith Yahweh, no man shall abide there, neither shall Son of Man dwell in it. Right? Right? It says. So you already know the judgment of Sodom and Gomorrah. You know, everybody knows about the judgment of that. The Lord is saying that this place will be rendered that same judgment. You see? Right? So it says, where am I at real quick? Salakia, right? It says, verse 19, behold, he shall come up as a lion from the swelling of Jordan against the habitation of the strong. But I will suddenly make him run away from her. And who is that chosen man that I may appoint over her? And who is like me? And who will appoint me as the time? And who is the shepherd that will stand before me? You see? Okay? And pretty much, man, this is when that whole rulership is going to become pretty much established in that time. Okay? You know, the throne of David pretty much being established. Okay? With his men, okay? All right? That are pretty much, the 12, and then you got the elect, okay? All right? And ultimately, really, Yahweh Shai. You see? Okay? That's going to be that governing order, man. Okay? And what? This is sanctioned by Yahweh at the end of the day. Okay? That's going to pretty much put all everything to where it's like what he tell the Lord, right? Sit down at that right side, try to make this earth my footstool, pretty much. So it says, therefore hear the counsel of Yahweh that he hath purpose against Edom, for his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their desolations, their habitations desolate with them. Okay? And pretty much we at the cusp of this right now. Okay? The least of the flock being drawn out. Because once they get drawn out, being dragged into this Third World War, there's no return. It's a point of no return. You see? All right? So right now they really have a choice to make on what kind of move they're going to make. But it's pretty much inevitable at the end of the day. It's pretty much inevitable at the end of the day because the judgment is going to stand assured. You see? All right? From there, let's go to Jeremiah 51. Babylon judged for sins against Israel. Okay? All right? See? You're going to be judged for the sins against the Lord's people. Okay? And even with people that don't know what the hell's going on, that move that Putin did make, okay, that still went over a lot of people's heads and didn't really understand the gravity of that. Okay? This is Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of Yahweh's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. That's what's coming. Okay, so ain't no way you either gonna sit here and kick your feet up and put your hands behind your head and think you're gonna be relaxing in a hammock with a tall drink. You see? Okay, those times are gonna be done away with quickly. Okay, you see? It says Babylon, right, have been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken, right? And it has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, pretty much. The Lord had made this place great. The Lord had raised this place up. This man has done it pretty much on the backs of our people, but he's thinking that he has done it by his own power, which is on the contrary. You see? Okay? And pretty much people look at this place as the standard, you know, all right? He said, this side of heaven. That's what he said. He said, we have made this place great as this side of heaven. Something to that effect he said. And this is where you had everybody flocking to this place. Okay? You made all the earth drunken, through your philosophies. You made all the earth drunken by pretty much committing fornication with you and doing this commerce with you. You see? Okay? Right? It says, right? The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. The nations are mad now because they're in a state of destitute now. Okay? By following the philosophies of what you've been doing. You see? Okay? You know, they wish they pretty much can redo everything. You see? But they can't. Right? It says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her. Take balm for her pain. If so be, she may be healed. And there's some type of balm that's going to pretty much heal this place. Cutting rates and quantitative easing. There's nothing that's going to pretty much put a band-aid on this place, man. You know, this place is truly in a fallen state. You see? Okay? All right? The inflation is pretty much going to go through the roof soon, you know? And pretty much once this war starts to kick off, you can forget about those gas prices, okay? There's not going to be no healing of that, okay? You see? Right? It says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, let us go every one into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up between the skies. And yeah, pretty much people think they're going to be trying to heal this place by thinking that you're going to change leaders of the free world. You're going to change presidents. They think that will pretty much solve the problem. Okay? This place is already free falling. Okay? To the state of destruction. You see? Okay? And it's all done by their own hand. You see? Right? Right? But the point I want to make about that golden cup, you see? All right? Because this was the standard of the earth. You know, everybody wanted to be like unto this place. Everybody wanted to be affiliated with this place and partake in the fruits of the labor. You see? Okay? Right? So let's go to Revelation chapter 17, verse 1. The doom of Babylon. And there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. And who's that speaking of? Okay? This is speaking about Babylon, the very same place where, you know, these Joe Schmo, Lunchbox Joe, think he's going to sit up and kick his feet up, man, and think he wants peace, man. Okay? All right? When the Lord said, when they shall say peace, then sudden destruction cometh upon them. Okay? But this is the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, man. Okay? All right? The chief of the people, right? With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunken with the wine of her fornication. You see? Everybody's pretty much been influenced with this place, man. And this man pretty much goes throughout the earth and spoon feeds you by force. Okay? His doctrine. Okay? His democracy, so to speak. Okay? All right? And it's pretty much lay down or get down, so to speak. You know, you ain't, if you can't get with what we're saying, then we gonna put judgment upon you. You see? All right. Verse 3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet covered beast, full of the names of blasphemy, and having 7 heads and 10 horns. And it's pretty much Babylon pretty much riding that beast, which is the EU and NATO. Okay? And those common markets, it's pretty much has been set up. Okay? And this is where you're seeing, which is known as, to the rest of the world, they known as the West, so to speak. Okay? You see? Right? And it says here, verse 4, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet colored and decked with gold and precious stones. And those are like royalty colors. You see? Right? But pretty much decked with gold and precious stones, having a golden cup in her hand full of abomination and filthiness of her fornication, man. Okay? And everything here is pretty much an abomination and filthiness. Okay? This is what this place has to offer now in these last days. You see? Okay? Fully accelerating itself to be contrary to Yahweh Bashim Abashai and his laws, man. Okay? Right? And it says, and upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And pretty much people still can't get what that is. Okay? You see? People can't even fathom that. These are people that pretty much are of our people. Okay? All right? The election have attained it. You see? Right? But the rest are going to be blinded. You know? So, E pretty much is going to have to pretty much fight for any type of comfortability. Okay? So, we're going to start to see just the sea wall pretty much go down. Okay? And that movie that's coming out, pretty much, I pretty much think it's coming out within the next week or so, another week or so, or 2 weeks or so. Predictive programming, man. You're going to see that, man. Okay? The Egyptian against the Egyptian. Okay? Every man's going to be at each other's throat, man. Okay? And this is going to be done by design. So, instead of them, pointing the fingers at the wrong people, okay? He has nobody to blame but his own people at the end of the day. All right? So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakudash, Shalom Akim.